Okay, it is Thursday, May 7th, 2026. We are in the Corpus Christi City Hall Council Chambers, 1201 Leopard Street, Corpus Christi, Texas, 78401. It is 2:10, and I call this meeting to order. Do you want to do roll call, Carissa?
Yes. Judge Connie Scott.
Present.
Mayor Paulette Guajardo.
Present.
Judge David Krebs. Mayor John Green.
Here.
Gabe Guerra. Mike Walsh. Art Granado.
Present.
Emily Martinez. Chad Miguel. Madam Chairman, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Is there anyone here who signed up for public comment?
Don't believe we have any for public.
We have
comment.
none?
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry.
Did you want to speak on an item, or did you? Mr. DeLocke, did you want to speak at this time? Okay.
No?
But we may have a public comment during the bylaw changes,
Okay.
if the mayor would like to speak then.
All right. Item number 3, approval of the TPC April 2nd, 2026 regular meeting minutes. Has anyone had a chance to review them and wants to make the motion?
I'll make a motion to approve agenda item 3.
I'll second that. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. He said aye. Yes.
I said aye. Yeah.
Yes.
Also, sorry.
Item 4, discussion and possible action items. Jafet, you are going to do item A, draft fiscal year 2027-2030 Transportation Improvement Program tip.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I will be presenting this item. Some of you may know the TIP is one of our core planning documents. It outlines the transportation projects that we expect to fund over the next 4 years. These documents keep us fiscally responsible and constrained. This step is part of a larger statewide process. Our schedule so far aligns with TxDOT timeline. All MPOs are required to submit their final draft by May 29th of 2026. In terms of funding, the current estimate for the Corpus Christi MPO area, it's approximately $420 million over the next 4 years. These funds are a mix of federal as well as state, and is distributed across several funding categories as well. To maintain fiscal constraint, we apply 4% of annual inflation rate as well. We work closely with TxDOT Corpus Christi District as well as CCRTA to incorporate their projects on this tip. Most of the highway projects are being sponsored by TxDOT as well, since none of the local entities submitted any projects for this funding cycle. Their recommendation, the TAC and the Corpus Christi MPO staff jointly recommend the TPC approve the draft fiscal year 2027-2030 Transportation Improvement Program through Resolution 26-4.
Thank you. And this is our final approval?
Yes, for approval.
Yes. I'll accept the motion.
Second. Or move.
I'll make the motion to approve the draft fiscal year 2027-2030 tip through Resolution 26-4.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Moving on to item B, the draft fiscal year 2025, fiscal year 2026 UPWP with amendment number 2. And Rob, I believe you're going to take this one.
Thank you, Judge. This is another final action item for you all today. Just finished its final 1-month public comment period. We have received no comments on it from the public or any of our agencies. So as a reminder, the Unified Planning Work Program, it is our MPO budget. And we are 100% federally funded. So this is the allocation, and in this case, we're reallocating some of the funds from some of our subtasks. We're focusing more on our long-range transportation plan, Later on your agenda, you see the 2050 MTP. That's our Metropolitan Transportation Plan. We need to spend more staff time on that. When we developed this work program 2 years ago, we didn't think we'd need enough, a lot of staff hours on that long-range plan. So this mid-year budget change is what that is going to do. Moving money from some of the tasks in 2 and 3. In your cover memo, I gave you a track change version of the funding tables of the subtasks. We're moving most of them into subtasks 4.1 through 4.7 or 8. And so the bottom line number, our federal dollar amount, has not changed. They did not give us any more money. We don't need any more money. And so as we finish up this fiscal year, which ends September 30th, we're just going to reallocate this money. And so without any public comment, happy to answer any questions, and we look forward to your motion.
Any questions? I will accept a motion to approve the draft fiscal year 2025 and fiscal year 2026 UPWP with amendment number 2. I'll make the motion.
Second.
Forget, we're kind of short here. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Moving on, and I believe this is yours also, Rob, the draft fiscal year 2027 UPWP.
It's not a case of bad deja vu. We just approved an amendment to our current year UPWP, but in most of our government processes, we have to think ahead for next year. So our fiscal year 27 starts October 1st. The federal government will have a new budget. Everything will be wonderful. We need to be in line with that to have our work program ready to go. And so to get it approved, today we're asking you to release it for the final 1-month public comment period. We'll bring it back to you in June, but roughly it's about $1.4 million for all the staff activities. So unlike the Transportation Improvement Program, you approved $360 million. Well, that's for projects and programs. But UPWP, that's our operating budget for the MPO. Again, 100% federal funds. We get about almost $900,000 usually per year. We don't have that final number because we don't have a final federal budget. We're using the number from this year. We do have rollover money that we are carrying over. We didn't spend some of the money on some consultants and some other things, so that money rolls over. That's included in that roughly $1.4 million budget. That's our bottom line. We give you a link to the document to look at all those subtasks. Again, tasks 1 through 4 have subtasks in them. It really articulates what we're going to do with the federal money over the next fiscal year. One of the direct expenses, we do have some money set aside for consulting services, about $100,000. You see that under task 1.9. So we identify all our expenses, both the direct expenses, consultant, paying our rent, paying our fiscal agent, all that is in here. So the details are there. We do not have public comment yet on it. Today we're asking you for releasing it for a final 1-month public comment period. We'll take it back one more time through the Technical Advisory Committee, who meets in about 2 weeks, and they'll have a recommendation for you in June. With that, I'd love to have a motion.
Thank you. Are there any questions for this? Then I will make the motion to release the draft fiscal year 2027 Unified Planning Work Program for a 1-month public comment period. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. On item E, the draft MPO bylaws and operation procedures revision. Rob, you're going to take that, but I think we had a public comment on this item.
Judge,
You want to
can we-
discuss it first? Or?
I'm sorry, Judge. Can
Go
we go
ahead.
back one item, 4D?
Oh, did I pass it? Sorry. 4D, the draft 2050 MTP appendices.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you,
I'll be
Karen.
presenting that.
Yes.
Karen Costanzo. And this will be a quick
Went right
one.
over you.
It's all right. This item's a motion to approve including 2 appendices within that 2050 Metropolitan Transportation Plan development process. With this body's approval, we'll publish those 2 appendices on our 2050 MTP website and use those appendices as reference items within our public outreach processes. So it's not really at this point approving anything, although one of these appendices is the congestion management program, which should look familiar since this body did adopt it at the very last meeting. So
Yes.
it's just coming back for inclusion as an appendix to the MTP 2050. And so with your permission, a motion just to include those 2 appendices within the draft MTP 2050 process. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Do I have a motion? Thank you. We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, I got a little trigger happy. I was moving down the agenda. Sorry. Now, item E, the draft MPO bylaws and operation procedures revision. And Rob, you have this, but I believe the Mayor Gregory is maybe wanting to do public
Her
comment.
option to come chat, I can do an
Yes.
overview or however she'd like to do it.
It's, if you want to speak first, we'll let you go first, and then you'll do an overview. I think you're fully aware of what you're, yes.
Am I fully aware? I'm
Yes.
not sure. Good afternoon, MPO Board. The City of Gregory is very happy to have this opportunity to come and join the board. As you know, some of the needs in our city have changed as the population is changing there as well, and so we look forward to being able to have this opportunity to be a part of how we move our city forward in relationship to the greater community.
Thank you.
And we look forward to your motion to accept us.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Rob, you want to take over
Sure.
now?
Thank you, Judge. This item is to really follow up on a multi-year process. As you're familiar, we've been, after the census, we had the opportunity to change our boundary. And so part of that long checklist of things is if there are any changes related to the boundary or membership, then you need to take care of that through other documents like the bylaws. So the City of Gregory has always been a member of the MPO. They have not spoken on their own behalf. They've had San Patricio County speak on their behalf through the judge of the county and on the technical advisory committee through staff or county commissioner. But as the mayor just articulated, they'd like to speak on their own behalf. And so to make that official, we need to change our bylaws. So we gave you a link to the bylaws and a track changes version. Really, it really is changing a line item under TPC membership to add the mayor of the City of Gregory. For the technical advisory committee, we have a designated person that the city will designate. And again, they just will send an email when they get to it. Now, in your bylaws, you can't change them today. You can change them next month. And so the action today is really to defer the final vote to your next meeting. And so when we bring it back, it'll have those changes. We'll have a clean version. Any other things that you may want to add to that. Again, there wasn't a lot of changes. We changed the number of members to 8, which is an even number. And so Judge Scott and I were talking, when we bring this back to you all, and we'll take it through our technical advisory committee as well, we'll have a section to contemplate tie breaking. It's never occurred here to have right now you're an odd number, you can't have an even vote.
But if we do, we have a policy in place.
Yes. And so we'll bring that section back for you all to look at next month. And then we'll go for approval then. But today's action is really to defer the final vote till next month.
Yeah, as a new person on this, I would like to learn a little bit more about this before we actually take an action item on it. Mm-hmm. So I'd prefer to motion to table this to allow me personally to learn a little bit more about this myself.
But I think the vote is next month. This isn't allowing them in right now, so you have another month. If we bring it back in June, unless you want longer than that, we can postpone longer. I do understand you're brand new on here, so.
And how long have we been working on this, though? On this whole,
The boundary change about 2 years.
Okay.
The bylaw change, we did one version about a year ago. We changed it, but it was not adding any members. And so this,
no, I understand that.
Yeah.
I was just asking, we've been in discussion on this for quite some time.
we have.
And so I understand where you're coming from, and I don't want to cause any waves, but, we've been working on it for quite some time, and it's your first meeting, I understand that, but I'm against tabling this for the next meeting. I think that if we're going to move this to the next meeting, which will be, I think you said in June, I think it gives us enough time, I think, to look at what needs to be. And it does take 2/3, is that correct, to amend the bylaws to this?
Yes, in June.
Okay.
to-
Not right now, though. Does
This
it take
isn't it.
2/3?
This-
Okay, just want to make sure, just right now, it just takes a majority to send it to
Yeah,
June.
Yes.
Today's action is to
It's not the,
officially
Correct.
have your vote next month. And so whether you table it or defer it, your language is whatever you'd like.
I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, technically, we're quasi-tabling, even though we're not, but because we meet in June to do the final action on this, but, okay.
well, technically, if we don't have enough people or something, we may have to table in June anyway. We may be tabling or not.
Well, that'd be,
Yeah, you could table in June if you don't have a time.
well, it'll just be 2/3 of the quorum present, correct? I mean, not of the full board.
We won't have to table anything, but even if we showed up with a quorum, you could ask for a motion to table if you don't have the information, if you haven't had enough opportunity to dig into this or see if your questions are answered or something.
Has the TAC had a chance to look through all of this already, or is it something that's just on the action item? Is that part
I'm
of
sorry, I didn't hear the first part.
The Technical Advisory Committee, have they already had a chance to look at this?
Not this version.
Well, I wanted to refer it back to them.
Yep, they're going to get it in 2 weeks. They're going to get the draft bylaws so they can make their comment.
And just for clarification from our attorney, I guess, it's 2/3 of members present if we have a quorum, right? So if we have 4 again, it's still going to be 2/3. It doesn't have to be the full 7 members at that time, does it? Correct? Okay, just make sure, make sure.
You don't get your 8th person until you pass it.
Correct.
But right now, your quorum is 4 of the 7.
So we need 3. Today technically be 3, correct? Gotcha.
Is that good for you? Are
Sorry.
you okay with that? It's like,
I'm mixed right now, not knowing a whole lot about it. That's why
Well, I think-
I'd like to motion it if I
Yeah.
can, motion to table it if I can. But if I'm not having an agreement, and we got a chance to vote against it next month, I can push that way.
you do, yes. So is that your motion, Art, since you didn't want it tabled, do you want to make the motion then?
That's correct. And what are we on for 4E, right?
4E,
Yeah.
yes.
Just make a motion for 4E, draft MPO bylaws and operation procedures revision.
And to include the tiebreaker,
Revision.
yes, provision.
Do we have that in place now? or can
It's
you tell
not
us
in
that?
place now.
We do not, we will.
Is that just, does that just flip a coin?
Perhaps.
Or give
think
the,
let's go by
or
the
give
federal
the RTA, give the RTA 2 votes?
Yeah, no.
Very funny.
I tried. Yes, that is correct. And also to add the policies, I guess you're going to come up with in case there's a tiebreaker procedure.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. 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 Any opposed?
I'm going to have to oppose right now.
That's
because I don't
fine.
know enough about it.
Understand, yes. Or abstain, whatever he eats. It's 3-1. Yes. That's our action items. Moving on to item 5, information items. Karen, the Safe Streets and Roads for All program notice of funding opportunity. I think you're going to give us an update.
Thank you. Staff wanted to present this item to the TPC just to highlight that there is almost $1 billion available in this notice of funding opportunities. About 700 million of that 1 billion is actually for implementation grants as opposed to planning demonstration grants. And a prerequisite to be competitive for those implementation grants is for the community to be within a safety action plan, which our MPO communities are included within the MPO's Regional Safety Action Plan. So just wanted to bring this forward because we presented it to our technical advisory committee. We wanted to bring it to TPC as well for your awareness. Though the deadline is later this month, one thing to note is that this particular grant, the Safe Streets for All, seems to be on a regular funding cycle, unlike some of the other grants that have been discontinued. So it's worth looking into and putting on everybody's radar maybe for another future funding cycle, if not this one. And of course, we are always here, staff, to help any community interested in going out and trying to compete for these federal funds. Love to see that come here to the Coastal Bend region. Thank you.
We appreciate that very much. Any questions for Karen? No? Moving on to item 6, TPC member statements on local projects, programs, or items of interest. Does any member have anything they wish to share? Nothing as of right now. Our proposed executive session, I would ask, since we have a new member here today too, does this need to be, should we postpone it to the next meeting?
I'd like to make a motion to,
What's the deadline for this? Is it the calendar, the fiscal year for you? It doesn't come into,
No deadline. My agreement just says it'll be done like every April, but it's
we're already
not.
passed, but
Yeah.
it still doesn't, does it get implemented immediately, or is it in the calendar year?
It runs our fiscal year.
September, like the county, or?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
So
So
not-
we could do this next month without being in any impact or anything to you personally
No.
or anything, yes.
We're good.
I really think with the 3 and a new person here, if you don't, I would assume, I would assume you,
Provide much info.
I'd like to then make a motion to postpone agenda item 8 until the June meeting. What day is that on? Well, just
4th, June 4th.
June 4th. Well, I should just say, it should be June 4th. We'll just call it the June meeting in case something changes on that.
Yes,
We'll make
yes.
that the June meeting for the MPO in 2026, postponed agenda item 8 until then.
Second that motion. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes, and we just talked about upcoming meetings and events. Our next meeting is June the 4th, is scheduled for June the 4th. The Technical Advisory Committee meeting is May 21st, and if there are no other items, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. We are adjourned at 2:33.